Good day everyone, my name is Navneet Anand from Aajkal, local and global, as well Fiji Times, India Times, Australia. It's month of January ending and we are looking forward to have by-election happening in the seat of Strathfield. So we thought, why not we go to the local candidate from Liberal, Bridget, and have an insight of her views. Bridget and Craig, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
You've been a very, very brave parent with that unfortunate incident that happened in Portland. I know it's difficult to say to come out of it, but may God gives you the power and grace to live with it. Would have been heartbreaking, but you are a very, very brave lady, I must say. Keep it up, the good work.
Thank you.
You've been a sport in the background as well, doing a wonderful job. Talking about the election, Bridget, what made you think to contest elections from Strathfield?
I've never aspired to be a politician. I have followed politics. However, as you mentioned, when a tragedy such as the tragedy happened to me as a mother and my family, your whole life perspective changes. I've come from I grew up in the inner west, and I went to university, and then after university, I got into the corporate world in business and finance, banking and finance, and working mother, raising 2 children, and life is going on, and you think you've got control over what happens in your life, and then all of a sudden you find yourself there's no control. The trauma and the grief that you endure, and you still endure every day. The price you pay for love is grief. Your perspective on life changes, and when this opportunity was presented to me, I saw it as a calling. I wanted to grab it because I wanted to give back to the community the way the community served me and my family during our grief. They were incredible.
I think during that time, it was not only the grief only for the family, the whole of Australia cried along with it. It was absolutely an irreparable loss and probably never happens to anyone ever again in future. Greg, how was your reaction when she came to you for the first time that she's contesting elections?
We went through a month where we went up and down in terms of this opportunity. Initially I was excited because I saw it as giving Bridget a broader platform to serve the community, as she mentioned. And then my protective instinct kicked in and I was worried about Bridget and protecting her and what this would mean. But we talked to a lot of people and we both came to the outcome that this is a fantastic opportunity to serve the community, as Bridget said. It's a little scary, to be honest, but with the right people around us, we're committed, and I'm 100% behind Bridget.
Talking about the policies for Liberal Party for this particular seat, what do you have in mind? What changes do you want to bring in?
Look, I've been walking the streets, talking to the people in the community because I live in the community. And I understand myself the needs, but I wanted to obviously, in speaking with the community, to understand the issues from their end as well. And there is a lot of congestion around the Strathfield area because it's a precinct with many schools. So we need to make sure that those roads, are safe and the pedestrians are safe. And we don't want people spending a lot of time on the roads. We want them back at home with their families. Also, I've been speaking to all the local businesses in Croydon Park, in Homebush, in Flemington, in Strathfield and in Burwood, and trying to understand from a micro level what they need. And they're all looking to thrive. They're all looking to want their business to continue to thrive. And a lot of them are asking for more alfresco, more dining outside because, the challenges of COVID are restricting people feeling safe. There's also a lot of people wanting to make sure there's family time, having appropriate development, that they're out in the green space. I know from when we were locked down in COVID, what my son loved is to go to the park and kick a ball at Strathfield Park. And so to make sure that those areas are available to families, work hard and also have family time. And there are a lot of people in Strathfield, it's very multicultural, Strathfield. There are a lot of people who are in grief and in pain from many challenges that we're all facing. And for us, the tragedy was so public. Like you said, Australia cried with us. So people came to us and said, how can we help you professionally? The community, whether it be the churches, the schools, professional medical people, they all said, how can we help? But a lot of people do suffer in silence, and I want to be able to have that outreach, reach out to those people who are suffering, because I understand what it's like to be in pain.
Yeah. Australia itself is a multicultural country. On top, Strathfield has got number of people from different ethnic backgrounds. So how many ethnicities do you think are living in Strathfield at the moment?
I think there's at least 10 ethnicities. And that's a beautiful thing. That's what makes community. It's what brings people together.
So what efforts are you putting in to understand their cultural needs as well? So do you get a chance to go to visit the different temples, churches for different nationalities? When I say nationalities, what I mean is people from different ethnic backgrounds.
Yeah, and I've spent quite a bit of time talking to different people from different ethnicity. On Australia Day, Indian Republic Day, I was at the Shadi temple, and it was beautiful. Just the culture there, the family unit, and many of them came to talk to me to express what they needed and what they were looking for. I've spoken to a lot of the Koreans in the community. They've also expressed to me the needs of what they're looking for as well. So I'm taking all that information, and if I am elected, I want to be that voice within government to promote their needs.
Once elected, it's a lot of responsibility for you to go, or rather anybody to go and represent their own community of that particular constituency. Looking at the leadership skills, probably you would have got some of them from your business. But before I talk about it, tell me, what about your schooling days?
Yeah, look, I went to school in Ashfield, and after that I went to Sydney University. I majored in economics at university.
Right.
And that afforded me the opportunity to enter into banking as a graduate at the Commonwealth Bank, where I learned everything from scratch right up to home lending. And then I joined a company which was owned by the federal government at the time called HLIC, Housing Loans Insurance Corporation, and it was focused on helping people into home ownership, where they didn't have their 20% deposit. We know how expensive it is to buy housing, especially in Sydney. So that became a privatised company. It was bought by GE and then became privatised. And in my entire career there for 23 years, I was very passionate about helping people into homes. And I ran the commercial area, and that looked after sales and marketing, all the relationships in the banking industry, from the major banks through to the small mutuals. I looked after all the analytics, worked with the regulators, worked with government, worked with all the lenders across the board, and I built very deep relationships. So after 23 years, I thought, I've acquired amazing skills, amazing relationships. I worked hard, and then decided, well, why not do something for myself? And Craig and I decided that we will back ourselves and start our own lending company to continue to help that purpose of home ownership.
How long have you been married for?
About 3 weeks.
That's true.
So we're still in the honeymoon. But we've been together for about 6 years and known each other for over 20.
Right, so
Yes.
over 20 you've been known each other.
Yeah, long
Lovely,
time.
Lovely. What other strengths do you think she has that would enable her to go and serve the community? And what are the weaknesses that she needs to overcome to get out of the situation if she gets into it?
Bridget has so many strengths. She has dedicated her life to serving. I mean, we're talking in a political context now, but Bridget has served customers, she's served the community in different elements for her whole life. And I think that is a key strength. She's selfless, and she's a great people person. She gets her energy from people, gives lots of energy to people, and loves conversing and being with people. So I think were she were to be successful in the election, I think her strengths perfectly play to representing the people of the Strathfield electorate. Weaknesses, none. Maybe she's a little tough on me in the home front, but no, look, she's perfectly suited for this opportunity.
The whole of the world has gone through very, very difficult times of around 2 years, or a little over 2 years during this pandemic, and we normally say it is the time of endemic and we have to live with it for the rest of the life. Any particular thing that you have in mind to go and support the community post-COVID situation?
I think the challenging times will continue. We have to learn to, like you said, live with it. And I believe in the conversations I've had with a lot of the local businesses, they very much want to thrive and they want hope and they want to make sure that they have people come back. And they've given me amazing feedback as to some of the things that they're looking for. And one thing we have to be very proud of at the moment is that the fact the government has extended rental relief, because we know that rent is a high fixed cost. So over and above that, they've talked about how they can expand their customer base. And I want to be able to take all that information and should I be elected, I will very much promote those needs and challenges.
What's on your wish list?
Look, on my wish list is to have the support of the community because, I feel very much that I can give and I can listen and acknowledge. So my wish list is to actually continue having those relationships to help. I want to achieve, I want to be able to be that voice within government and execute. So I have the ability to be voted in, represent, that is my biggest wish list, to represent the community and address their needs.
Before I wrap up, what would be your appeal to the local residents?
My appeal is to support and vote one for Bridget Sakr because I am your community representative. This is a calling for me to give back to the community and I want to be there to serve and I want to be your voice. That's my wish list to get your support.
Thank you so much for giving your time to Fiji Times India Times Australia. May the best candidate win and serve the community as the time comes. Wishing you all the best on behalf of our whole team, me and Tarun Yadav. Thank you once again.
Thank you.
We had a chat with Bridget, the candidate from Strathfield from Liberal Party. Looking forward to the results after 12th of February. We wish all the best to you and all the candidates in the area. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thanks for your time.
One-stop answer to your Australian education and visa matters. Gemco Sydney. Dream big, achieve big.
Fiji Times. Be with the times.